I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?
Welcome, everyone. You're now listening to the Say It With Your Chest podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. Lightskin Key Sweat. Thank you to everyone who's been listening consistently. Thank you to everyone who's been sharing. I appreciate everyone who's reached out, who's asked questions. I really do appreciate everyone for just listening, no matter how often you're getting to me or not. Please check out the new merch. You see, we got the new hoodies, the Not Too Much On Me hoodies. We already out. I got that new burgundy color on. In my next video, I got the blue color on, the baby blue. Check me out. A lot of flavors, men and women, great quality. Embroidered stitching. I even got a Say It With Your Chest patch on the sleeve. Again, good price. Shipping straight to your house. Click the link. I appreciate all the love and the support. Also, check me out on Tidal for my music playlist. I have hip hop and R&B, the slaps, as well as the Love Up On Me playlist. Again, the vibes. Set the mood right. I'm going to show you what's new out right now. So make sure you click the link and let me know what you think. I want to first start off by thanking one of my homeboys, Smoke. Thank you for being loyal, my guy. I appreciate the communication. See, you need people in your life who gonna stay true to the friendship or to the relationship at all costs. At the end of the day, all you gotta do is be transparent and communicate. I appreciate all of that. See, that means more than anything sometimes to me. Communication, direct communication, and loyalty. Pick a side. Don't be on both sides. I know you might know both sides, but I need you to let me know what side you're on. And you got to be on one or the other. Okay, so again, shout out to him. He gave me some information. He let me know somebody we went to high school with was not liking the podcast. And she was saying a few things. She was talking about it a little bit to a few people. We don't know who, but it got to him. So he got to me, and I had to get to her. Because we know each other a little bit. At least I don't need to know you enough for me to reach out. So I had to have a conversation. And I'm like that. I'm not confrontational, but I am a little more direct. Who don't mind a little confrontational if, it's needed. I was reminded I'm sassy. I talk back. I say things. I'm an over communicator sometimes. And I've accepted that. I've been accepted that. Most people who know me know that I am this way. See, when you're a guy who's totally independent, you do everything for yourself. Cook, clean, shop. It does not matter. I do it. Now, it's not always been this way. But over the years, when you learn things, you incorporate things, and you reach out for help when reaching out needs to be reached out. However, you don't always have to be dismissive of your feelings due to what someone's giving you, given the fact that you're not necessarily always asking for things. So keep that in mind, fellas. But yes, I am a little sassy. Like I said, I don't know if it's because of how I speak, how I like to be emotional and communicate my emotions some of the times. People say more times than not. Or if it's how I dress, how I look, I have no idea. My style, my vocabulary, my emotions, it all equates who I am. And hey, it's a love-hate type relationship. Most people I know share on both sides. And I understand that. I also understand that you don't have to like everything about somebody to be there and support somebody. So again, keep that in mind why everyone is always uncomfortable every time they don't agree with every little thing. Find a compromise, look at the big picture, figure out if there's something you can look positive towards. And if not, move on. If so, move on. Figure it out. But don't sit in it. Don't keep being mad. Life is too short to continue being upset about things that you can control if you choose to. Now, speaking of things that I can control lately, I have been going to the doctor. I know they say men don't go to the doctor. Well, I am not one of them. I go regularly. Earlier this year, I mentioned on one of the episodes that I hurt my finger while I was doing some things. After going to the finger doctor, I actually started to evaluate some of the bills they had been sending to my house. Your insurance pay piece, but sometimes you got to pay your deductible depending on where you at. And so I had a few little charges that I was really pushing off. I don't be rushing to pay bills. I ain't gonna hold you. And it was making me mad. They really didn't treat me the best, if we gonna be honest. Seemed like it was about more of the money. And come to find out, it really was, because I realized they charged me for something that I did not do. They charged me for something that did not happen, something that I argued with them that I did not want, but they still charged me. My insurance even paid their portion already. So it took me a while to realize what happened, because the numbers just wasn't numbering, and I had to figure out what was going on. And that's what it was. So I've called my insurance already. I've let them know I want to dispute some things, but I paid every piece of the bill that is true, besides this one charge. So they gonna see an outstanding balance of something they know didn't happen. So we gonna see how they want to proceed. Also, I went to the dentist. Now, again, right now, everything is big business. It's always been big business, but it's been more big business than ever. Everybody wants your money, and I promise you, they giving you less than they used to give you. That's just how it's working right now. Pay attention a little bit more, and you will see too. Now, every time I go to the dentist, you never know what you're going to get. Usually, you hope you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, that's the question everybody should ask. Do you actually do what they tell you to do? Going to the doctor or the dentist consistently, they always give you homework. You need to do a little bit more. Nobody in the world is perfect. Nobody is living perfectly at all. So every time you get a checkup, they giving you some things to work on. But are you going to listen completely? Or are you going to pick and choose? Are you going to do what you feel is what you want to do or not? These are the decisions we make. And hey, we live with these choices too at the end of the day, or we don't live. So keep that in mind. Now, I realize going to the dentist that I don't need to go to the dentist as often as they be saying I be needing to go to the dentist, because I haven't been in over a year, and they had me scheduled for 6 months. So I'm behind. However, I have been somewhat handling my business at home. Now, I've had braces before. Again, I've heard the stories of people who've had braces multiple times, and I'm like, I'm not going back twice. We gonna do it once, but we not paying for it twice. You don't get no refunds. You don't get a discount the second time. Full price both times. And matter of fact, the way the economy going, the price probably goes up each time. So keep that in mind while most people don't wear their retainer. Most people don't do what they say you're supposed to be doing. Now, they told me after a good cleaning that I was just fine, and I thought to myself, damn, I don't really need to be coming as often. However, I shouldn't be taking chances like this all the time either. So maybe this is an anomaly, but sometimes I don't need to be coming as often as they say I need to be coming. So I need to keep that in mind because, again, I need to be watching my pockets. And like I said, I've been going to all my doctors. I even went to the eye doctor. I said, hey, y'all, I want you to check my eyes. I need you to let me know what's going on in here. Now, I moved a few years ago, and I didn't want to drive back to the last place I went to for a checkup. So I wanted something a little closer. I found a great place real close to the house. I schedule an appointment. I tell them what I'm looking to get done. They say okay. They give me the earliest appointment they have that works with my schedule. Everything sounds great, quick and easy. I get to the appointment. The lady say, oh, you gonna need to see somebody else. You know, he really specialized in some of this. And he's at another location and he only see patients on select days. I said, well, ain't this some stuff? Now, I haven't seen the bill yet. So I'm hoping everything go like I need it to go, because if the bill too much, I will be appealing they charges too. Because we not just gonna be billing just cause. We gonna find some balance in this. Now I'm gonna pay something, but I'm not paying unreasonable charges. Again, pay close attention to all your receipts, all your bills, all your expenses. They sliding little things in there, and they gonna say it's a little mistake, a little error. And guess what? If you don't find it, they won't find it. So that's how that goes sometimes, because nobody really spending cash like that. So you feel it differently when you're swiping. So keep that in mind. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's really going on at the next appointment. Now, lastly, I went and had my annual physical checkup. Again, if you pay for your insurance, you get one of these for free every year. You need to do this at least once a year. You need to go get checked up, blood work, everything. Tell them everything that's going on. Be honest. Be vulnerable. You getting older. I went to the doctor. He said, hey, you just turned 40, huh? I said, hey, bro, don't be adding no sauce. You knew that last year. And I asked you some proactive things, so I won't hear nothing extra unless you seeing something, you know? So we had some conversations. He said, I'm just prepping you. I said, don't prep too much. I said, not too much on me. I don't want it before I need it, okay? I need to know if I need it. I told him I need early detections on everything, but we don't want to rush anything. So let me know. And I like this guy. He's been very transparent. He's easy to talk to. And he's super direct. He allowed for me to communicate directly. He don't interrupt me. He don't cut me off. He don't rush me. See, I need that. I need that with everybody. I need a safe space to speak. I love to communicate. I don't know how to not communicate. I really be trying not to talk sometimes. And it's hard. I might could do a couple hours. Sometimes I can do a day or two. But I can't do much longer than that, especially if it means something to me. So if you know, you know. If you don't, who cares? I still have a few tests that need to come back, but so far, the report I got from the doc, he said everything looking all right. Dentist, everything all right. Eyes pending. But I can still see, so everything all right. We just trying to make sure everything is good before things change in the world right now, because so much is going on right now. Life is so short. You really have to take care of yourself. You really have to be proactive. Now, I have been super proactive by going to the doctor. I've also been trying to be more mindful of what I've been eating, as well as my healthy lifestyle. Now, I recently bought an at-home sauna. It's been in the garage. I got it nicely set up. Everything's rearranged, nice and neat, to where I don't have to ever move anything unless I'm adding some new things, which I might be doing that too. But for right now, I like how everything came out in terms of the new little design look, because you got to make sure you got space for everything. But for me, I have OCD. I need everything to be neat. I need everything to have a home that don't change ever. I need it to be right here. And we not moving things. You know, when I use something, I come back, I put it right back in the same spot all the time. Inside, outside the house. I know I got a problem. It's a thing. It is what it is. But I recently bought this sauna, and it's been about 2 weeks now. I figured out how to really use it. It does take specialized type water. I can't just use regular water. I have to go ahead and get purified water to be able to use because it's a steam sauna. But so far, so good. I really like it. You know, I'm learning things and it's helping me relax, especially since I've not been able to go to the gym lately. And when I was going to the gym consistently, I wasn't liking the sauna as much because people don't keep it clean. A lot of people don't have good etiquette in terms of being quiet or not having your music on loud unless you have headphones. Like that's it. You can't be on the phone in the sauna unless you in there by yourself. That's just how that go. You can't be in the sauna and play your music out loud. If you don't have headphones, you can't listen to music. That's it. You can't play your little Instagram clips out loud without no headphones. That's just how that go. You got to have some type of etiquette. And again, sometimes they clean it consistently, sometimes they not. But now I got something at home, and so I got to clean mine consistently. Not as consistent as if there was a whole lot of people going in it, since it's just me. But you still have to clean it. So still a little work, but I'm enjoying it. And I was able to use some of my HSA health benefits to pay for this. So look into that if you got that. And remember, you got the tip from me. So let me know if you use your HSA benefits and you know you got to use stuff before it expires. So you only got a few more months left. Now, my doctor said, hey, you got to keep things simple. You got to eat your fruits and vegetables. You also have to make sure you exercise consistently. And you got to make sure you stay away from the alcohol and the smoking. That's what he said. He said it don't take all that. He said you keep it simple, but it's what you're putting in your body. Because I ask a lot of questions. And I want to get to the root of things. I want to figure out how to make living long as easy as possible for myself. How I need to learn where I can kind of treat myself within reason and what I need to stay away from. If you don't know, I've not had meat outside of a little turkey, a little bacon from time to time in a very long time, maybe 8-9 years now. No chicken, no burgers, no steak, things like that. Again, it's not based on the animal, it's just based on the type of product. Mainly because I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I was getting tired of it. And I wanted a change. I wanted to see what it would do for my body. And I like a lot of the results. Now, it makes it challenging in terms of diversifying what I may eat. Because all I'm really eating is the seafood. But at the end of the day, you have to make change to get good results. Now, I'm still looking to make change because I'm not perfect over here. I'm not where I want to be at. And after one of my trips this summer, I was really feeling bad about having to restart some things, get back on track, even though I'm almost there. So I'm happy about that, but I hate that roller coaster ride that we go on in terms of living a healthy lifestyle. We really getting older and we don't have forever to keep going up and down. You really want to just be consistent, and I need to do better next time because again, I'm not the only one getting older, but I am getting old. Now, lastly, while I was at the doctor, we was having our conversation, catching up. You know, I asked him how he doing too, but while he was checking up on me, he was like, "Hey, I remember you was telling me you work for the government." I was like, "Yeah, we in the news. You see what's going on." I went to see him the first day of the shutdown, so it was fresh on his mind early in the morning. He said, "Hey, yeah, I don't really watch the news, but I heard some things." I said, "Yeah, everything you hear is true for me too. It is what it is. We do go through this every year a little bit, but this year is realer than real and it's looking a little more serious and like it's not going to end no time soon." So shout out to all my government employees. I know my coworkers don't listen to the pod. Thank you for that because you don't know about that. But shout out to my other friends who work for the government, anybody else who may work for the government. We gonna enjoy this time, but be smart with your money. Be smart with that money, okay? Don't be spending that much. I want to do some things, but you really don't know how long this gonna be. So you have to be careful. And you can't be taking no chances with Trump out here. See, the Republicans and them Democrats, it's not looking too good, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. It's just not looking the smoothest. This is the only thing right now that the Democrats really have leverage in. And they don't have that much leverage, but they have a little something. And they're holding on to it because if they let go of this, it might really go downhill for all of us, okay? So I actually like some of the decision to stand for what you believe in, fight for what you believe in. So we're going to see if they negotiate, because they're not even really trying to negotiate with us. And that's why they had to really do some of this. They want to negotiate. They cool with giving in on things that they really want, taking less than what they asking for. See, it's sad. I don't know if y'all really watching. It's sad, especially when you on the side of the people who already conceding. Like, I don't like that. But that's how they play. They play safe. They don't play aggressive. Trump, the Republicans, they play aggressive. Now, they only play aggressive because Trump is there. Just throw that out there. He play aggressive, so they play aggressive. But they don't play fair. Right now, it's not the time to look for a new job. Hopefully we get that back pay. Right now is the time to save if you're a government employee. Don't spend too much. Not too much on that money. That's how it is right now, okay? Everybody really need to be doing this, but y'all don't listen to me. I see a lot of y'all outside. I know a lot of people personally don't listen to me. So again, I know it's not the time to be doing everything. Not right now. But again, you're not going to listen to me, but you keep watching the news, then you're going to be complaining. Trump's sending some memes out here. And he's saying if you don't kiss the ring a little bit more, some things going to happen. And he doing whatever he want. He putting tariffs back out here. And it's not the time to be having more tariffs. Holiday season coming up. I know nobody thinking about buying Christmas gifts this early, including myself. Shout out to anybody who think they getting one. We ain't thought about it yet, okay? Even though Walmart already putting up their stuff, Hobby Lobby been my favorite spot. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been getting all the Grinch stuff 50% off. Now, usually I like to wait after Christmas, get the stuff, more than 50%. I almost got one of them really big statues, but I said, no, T, you doing too much. I should have got it, though. But still, I was doing too much. I'm always doing too much, though, but not too much. So I've been in Hobby Lobby a lot. I've been going to different Hobby Lobbies because I was asking around in there, and the ladies been telling me that they gonna keep adding more things throughout the season. It's not just gonna be the same stuff that you see in the beginning. They releasing as they go. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just check back periodically. I'm gonna go to a few different ones and see if they got new things that I may like. And I really just be going on the Grinch aisle. I ain't gonna hold you. A few other little aisles, but I go to the Grinch section and I keep buying stuff. At least it's 50% off, so not too much. But all I know right now is you better be looking for deals, especially when you're talking about shopping for other people. You better be buying early. Black Friday, if they even still do Black Friday, I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time because I ain't been doing that much shopping for people. Or myself. I mean, okay, maybe myself a little bit, but not too much. I haven't been doing too much, like I say. So I haven't been shopping during that time period. I haven't really been buying in advance like that. But this year, in advance, that's what we on. In advance. We not waiting to the last minute. That's why we was going to the doctor early, because insurance rates going up. Everything going up, but the insurance rates going up. That's what the Democrats holding out on. Healthcare. They said it's going to double, maybe triple your premium. I know y'all haven't got y'all statement out. See, they said they late. They said they should have did it earlier, and then people would understand a little bit more what the Democrats doing. Well, guess what? Your premium's going up. You already don't go to the doctor, fellas, but you're really not going to go because it's going to cost even more. But guess what? I went before the rates went up. Even though the rate's still going to affect, but I'm not going to have to pay as much because I'm not going to be going. We're going to figure it out. We're going to use natural remedies, natural resources. Everything going to be natural. Did it grow in the ground? We're going to get our nutrients and our vitamins from the food, okay? We're going to eat right, so we're going to make sure we getting the right things from the right type of foods we eating and putting in our body, okay? We're not going to be trying to do supplements to make up for what we not doing right, Okay, see how that works? See how that sounds? Keep that in mind. But this the world we living in right now. I don't know. I don't know. It's not looking good. I don't care what side you're on. It's not looking good. I don't know when we're going to go back to work. I don't know when the shutdown going to end. I've been talking to a couple homies. We thinking weeks, months. I think they want you to feel it a little bit more. No pause. So I think it's going to extend through the holiday time. Again, buy them gifts early. Look for them deals now. Tell people they not getting that much right now. That's what I'm already doing. Well, I haven't checked, but they already know. So tell them you're keeping it light this year. Tell them pay attention to what's going on in the news. See, you got to make sure everybody understand. You also got to be doing stuff throughout the year so that everybody not putting too much pressure. You got to lead with love, they say. I don't know. Love don't cost a thing, I thought. But whatever, not too much. Like I say, Trump won't do everything and anything his mind come up with. Any type of revenge, anything to get back at Joe Biden or Barack. Yeah, he doing that. He reversing that. Anything that go against black folk, brown skins. Yeah, yeah. He looking into that closely. That's how I'm seeing this first year go already, okay? And it ain't been a full year yet. Just keep that in mind. He got 3 more and some change. So it could only keep getting worse. That's all I'm saying. It don't get better. It could stay the same, or a few more things could keep happening. And I don't like what's already gonna happen at the rate it's happening. It's not looking good. We need to come together. We need to put our heads together and we need to strategize. Listen to me with the few first steps by saving some money, okay? You see, he already trying to put his face on a dollar coin. They say he ain't even supposed to do that while he a sitting president. But he changing rules. He making his own rules. He doing what he want. He say you shouldn't be taking Tylenol because it's making your baby slow. I said, all right, okay, damn. that came out the blue, you know. I was caught off guard. I was caught off guard with that one, you know. But he be saying some things, and he doubling down on it. Stay away from Tylenol, even though they say he not right. I don't know. I think he knows some things, but I think he playing some games. I think we do need some sort of a reform in the type of resources that we give out. I think we need to give out more resources to more people, make it be easier. However, it shouldn't be forever. This is supposed to help you get started. You know, this not supposed to be a forever thing. You supposed to get on your feet and then you supposed to lose this after a while, in my opinion. We need these resources to go to other people. We need these dollars to go to other things. We need people to earn their keep just like some of the other people who earn their keep. We don't need people to be dependent now. So again, I agree with some things, not anything he doing and how he doing it completely. If I got to make a choice, it's not going towards him. I already see too much that don't look good for people who look like me. The racism is too strong. Sorry. I don't care what little good I could see in one little thing that don't have nothing to do with me. Keep that in mind. A lot of stuff don't have nothing to do with you right now. So you still need to have compassion, but mind your business a little bit too. If they say this what they want, you should be doing what they say. If it don't have nothing to do with you and yours. Like a lot of this deportation. Now, a lot of them didn't vote properly either. A lot of them voted for Trump. And he was already talking about he wasn't, going to be letting them stay like that. They didn't think it was going to be for them. So I get it. They didn't think he was going to be as aggressive, as ask questions later type of, response. I knew he was going to do some things. I just know I live here. I know I got paperwork. So I knew it didn't have nothing to do with me, but I also knew I wasn't supporting anything, so I voted the other way. You shouldn't be treated unfairly, but you also shouldn't be allowed everything that I get. I don't know, y'all. I just think there need to be a little bit more fairness for some of the people who are already here, because we've been here. Black and brown been here, and we've been getting dogged on, no pause, for a long time. Technically, we still getting dogged on, just in different ways, and I'm looking for some change to be coming, and it don't look like it's coming anytime soon. It actually look like it's getting worse. So I'm looking for some things at home to get better before we keep helping people who not from here, who don't look like the people who already here. The people who not here the right way. If you here the right way, I don't care what you look like, everybody should be treated the same. However, Trump don't believe in that like that. And if you don't fit the criteria, he coming to get you. He's sending the National Guard to cities to help ICE detain more people. And the way they throwing people to the ground, the way they coming in unruly, they're not asking questions, they're not truly looking at the paperwork. You better hope you don't get caught up. Home Depot looked real quiet today. No judgment, but I was in there for about an hour and, it looked a little empty. That's all I want to say. The roads be looking a little differently, a little bit. That's all I want to say. No judgment, I'm just paying attention and I'm noticing a few little things and it's tight out here. You got to play it safe. Can't be taking chances. Then you hear Trump want to go ahead and make his own deals with the pharmacy companies. He want to come out with his own type of drugs. See, he's trying to create a dictatorship. And he putting his name on everything. Just showing you reminders. Dictatorship look like this a little bit. I think y'all need to figure it out. Find a way to vote in your local elections. Find a way to be ready in the midterm elections. Coming up soon. I know we don't want to deal with some of this. A lot of stuff got drama, but you still got to do what's right. You got to make sure that your choices support everything that don't look like what we already dealing with right now. So make sure you're choosing wisely. It's sad. We think we're free. We think we can do whatever we want. We think we can go wherever we want. We think people just have to figure it out, help us any kind of way, no matter what, until they show us that they don't. Until they show us that they won't. When they say freedom come with a price. It ain't free. That's why I always kind of respect those, even though I don't always agree with everything. I respect those who are willing to fight for what they believe in, who are willing to lay their life on the line a little bit more, put themselves out there on Front Street for what they believe in, especially if it benefits and help others, especially if it's for a positive cause, a little bit more than not. Rest in peace to Miss Asada Shakur. She recently passed away. I'm still learning a little bit more about her. I've always heard her name a little bit, but I'm not in the history like that. I'm not always into the Black Revolution like that, especially back in the day. I'm a little bit about what's going on now, current data. Although I respect the past, even though I don't always know about it. So she passed away. I did like reading up on her story a little bit and seeing how she's been living in Cuba all these years after escaping from jail and leaving the States. So I like that story. One day somebody will maybe tell a movie about her and her life. Maybe they already got something. I know she has a good book out right now, but I don't do that much reading outside of for work, and I'll probably wait for a movie or a documentary or something, even though I don't really be watching documentaries like that either. But I definitely want to learn a little bit more about her. Maybe I will read a book one day and see what it's about. But shout out to all the political fighters, the freedom fighters, because we are not free. So we need to still be fighting for what we deserve, fighting for equality, especially if you're doing the same type of things. If you hear the right way, then you should be demanding and asking and saying, hey, things should be a lot more just and fair for all, especially since it has not. At some point, when are we going to finally do what's right? Seems like a lot of opportunities have slipped past us, and still no one has truly done what's right. Now, I'm not saying reparations, but I'm saying maybe some reparations. It'll make some people feel better. I ain't gonna hold you. It really would. It really would. I don't know why people don't really just respect the difference enough to still see that we are a lot more alike than not. We have a lot more in common. You see in the world we live in, you have a guy in Michigan who can just say to himself he disagree with the way people believe in their God, how they want to worship, and think that his belief trumps, no pun intended, but trumps anyone else's belief. So he took it upon himself to go and harm, I think it's 11 people out at a church, the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon community. I worked in Utah. I lived in Utah for about 6 months. 6 to 8 months. Had a good time, met a lot of people, learned a lot about the culture, okay? So I respect the difference. I did not go to their church, though. I didn't want to go see. I'm not that nosy. See, when you go and try to be nosy, sometimes you can't control everything. Sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and some things can happen. So I watch too much TV for that, and I don't need nobody kidnapping my ass when I'm by myself in a place I don't know nobody at, all because I want to be nosy. Not worth it. So you got to do better. Now, somebody else who was told he had to do better, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel, again, is freedom of speech free? Now, I believe if he was working on his podcast and he said some things, he could say whatever he wants. And he could stay on his podcast however long he wants to stay on his podcast, just like myself. I can say what I want. However, I don't have any sponsors. I don't have anyone to listen to. No one's paying me to do anything. Therefore, I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I don't have to say I'm sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings. Although, I still be saying I'm sorry more than I be wanting to a little bit. I got to think about that. I got to work on that. Because I don't really be sorry like that. However, I do respect the difference. I need everybody to hear that loud and clear. I respect everybody's feelings. That don't mean I gotta like it. I'm not even trying to like it or not like it. I respect it. And I want to compromise. I want to give and take. But I respect it. But you have to figure out how to work with others, not be so different than others. And they told him, hey, bro, I need you to go on home for a minute. You're suspended. You're not working well with others. They didn't like his comments about Charlie Kirk. Now, it's crazy. Everybody got something to say. Nobody was saying nothing about him for real when he was alive, but all of a sudden he dead. Now, a lot of people got something to say. A lot of people know who he is now. A lot of people went look back at the videos. Now, I know who he is based on y'all saying who he is, and I didn't go back and watch the videos. However, he didn't seem like a great guy. He seemed like he had some views, some ideologies that wasn't favorable to all. Seemed like he was just like Trump as he was friends with Trump. So I don't know, but what I do know is that no one deserves to die. That's the religious man in me. I do not believe in death like that. I don't believe in humans controlling that. So I don't believe no one should be dying at the hands of another man or woman. So rest in peace to Mr. Charlie Kirk. Condolences to his family. Outside of the other stuff, the differences, I don't like him. The little bit I done heard, I don't like. But he still should be alive. And if you have more feelings than that, you got to look in the mirror and you got to make sure that you can live with those type of decisions and that type of energy you putting out. Now, I don't think the comments or the jokes that Jimmy Kimmel really was putting out there was that bad. I don't think it really warranted the suspension, but he got one. However, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel got some friends. Some people was in outrage because people do believe in the freedom of speech. People believe he didn't say nothing too wrong. He was fair in his comments. They do be trying to say that comedians should be able to be given a little more leeway. I don't know about that part. I think it should be given to all. But a lot of people stood up for him, especially a lot of people who don't agree with him, don't like his show, have publicly said those type of things, but still came out and supported the fact that he should not be suspended just because of him publicly disagreeing with someone. Now, again, when you work for somebody, you got to listen. And he worked for Disney. And Disney was getting a little pushback. People wasn't standing in them long-ass lines no more to buy them highest tickets. People was canceling their Hulu memberships, ESPN memberships. Ratings was down. People won't come together when they feel like they won't come together. Now, I didn't know it was going to be behind Jimmy Kimmel. Again, I think there's some other causes. But you see, people stand up for what they want to stand up for. And when you do stand up, and when you stand up together, you get results. And you can get quick results. And it does not matter what it is or who it's for. You just need to come together. Keep that in mind, though. A lot of y'all don't know how to come together even in your own household. So keep that in mind. I also want to say condolences to the young lady in New Orleans who was from Chicago, who came down to celebrate her birthday. She lost her life out there in the quarters, supposedly some argument. And I don't think it was an argument with no women. Now, fellas, it's one thing for y'all to be having guns. I do not believe in guns. Again, I'm always say that. But, fellas, you can't be shooting no women. I don't care what they doing. I'm pretty sure every guy at one point they want to put their little hands on, you know what I mean? But you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. But you definitely shouldn't be pulling out no gun. Like, that ain't even manly, fellas. It ain't even manly to even be putting your hands on the woman. Find a guy to put your hands on first. Ask her to bring a representative to support her cause or something. But you shouldn't be putting your hands on the woman. Sorry. Now, I know they might put their hands on you. But again, that's a different conversation. But refrain, fellas, as best as you can. Because it's not going to benefit you. I'm just letting you know based on the results. At the bare minimum, look at the results. In a lot of them cases, it's 0 to 100, okay? And the women are winning. All of them. And men are losing badly. Maybe it might be a little more negative. So that's why I'm just saying, if you look at the stats, I would just say pick a different option in how you want to handle some of these choices when you potentially considering should you put your hands on a woman or not. But I'm letting you know, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not seeing nobody become successful after doing such a thing. Now, somebody else I wish was being a little more successful, but you see their time is coming to an end. Titi, it's time for you to go, boo. Seem like you done had a good time. I ain't gonna hold you. Seem like you was acting like you was the queen of Zulu or something this whole time. Cause you been cutting up. You been, looking good, doing your thing, all the events. Sometimes people be forgetting you even the mayor. Like I said on other episodes, I didn't even see you at a couple of hangouts. A few times I done came in town, okay? So I think you'd be a little too outside, in my opinion. But you gotta have fun too. You gotta let your head down too. Now, you ain't got that much, but the head you got, you need to let it blow in the wind, is what I'm saying. It recently came out, was letting your hair blow a little too much in the wind. Okay? You spending some money. It's always about the money, y'all. That's why I keep trying to tell you, you got to save some money because it's always about the money. Somebody always messing up some things, and the numbers ain't what you think it is. So you better hold on to yours just in case you might need it. Now, I know everybody think they got a little cushion. I'm just saying, I think you need to have a little bit more cushion. You see what's going on in the world? I need you to increase the cushion. That's what I'm saying. You're already doing some things. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. But what I'm saying is you're not doing enough. We having real world change go on. And have been going on the last 5 years. And now we're really about to start to feel some of the impact. I'm just telling you, brace yourself. Prepare yourself. But you heard it first. I ain't going to keep telling you now. I'm going to tell you this one little time. And I ain't going to keep coming back. I ain't going to raise my little pressure. Like I said, when you see the writing on the wall, what you going to do? We've been seeing they had corruption in New Orleans. Now, I don't know why when the new people get New Orleans, they can't not be corrupt too. You see, it don't be working out, but every now and again, they must have a few that get to skate by. Didn't get caught. And you think you're going to be like them. I don't know. Or maybe you outside too much and maybe you get approached. See, I can't get approached if I'm at home. That's all I want to say. I take that back. Social media had your boy approached right now if something was needed to be approached about. So there are ways. You can't avoid everything. However, you can minimize. You cannot act like you as approachable. You can act like you not really trying to talk to too many people. See, I definitely be doing all of that, okay? Therefore, I don't be being approached with the foolery like that. I'm also not doing the foolery like that, but I'm also not playing them kind of games. So keep that in mind. I think she was just a little too loose. That's it. She was having just a good time. She was letting the good times roll a little too much. And now she done got indicted. And I just want to let you know, TD, I don't think this was the time for you to be giving out no key to currency. Now, I like currency. I like currency a lot. I don't be listening like that, but I like currency a lot, okay? But this wasn't what was supposed to be in the news with your face on it, okay? He could have got his key. I'm just saying, not from you right now, okay? I'm just saying, but not too much. Now, some more not too much. Man, I don't know who gonna be y'all new mayor out there. I'm paying attention. But my city not looking the best, okay? That's all I want to say. Looking like a lot of drama going on, and everybody got their phone out. And it's a lot of men. A lot of messy men, but a lot of men. Again, they sassy too. Now, I'm the sassy man that like the ladies. I don't know about them over there, okay? Now, ask about me. Don't ask. Never mind, don't ask. But what I'm saying is, I like the ladies, and I'm sassy too. They seeming a little more sassy than me, okay? And that ain't it. They say I might be on the cusp, but I'm on the straight line, all right? I'm just letting you know I'm on the other side. But the drama is not healthy for the city. To me, people laughing more and not taking it seriously, which means people not gonna want to get out there and vote. People not gonna know who to vote for. People gonna be laughing when they out there because most stuff gonna keep coming out before it's all said and done. I hope it work out. Now I like the lady who running, but I don't know if they gonna have two women back to back like that. But nothing wrong with that. Let's see if the ladies run the world. Who run the world? Girls. They alright. They don't. I mean, they alright. You know who else is just alright and who don't look like to be that alright? Just like maybe some of the girls, but not too much. Not too much. The New York Mayor Adams. Hey, bro. You knew you wasn't even supposed to be doing that, so we ain't even gonna give you too much attention. Glad you wasn't running for mayor out here by me, and glad you wasn't running for mayor out there in New Orleans. Now, I support the black and brown community, so if you was the only one on the ticket, I would've, but I don't think you it, bro. They say you might have another job they gonna pop up with later down the line that gonna be making a little noise. You've been kissing the ring a little bit, but not too much. Nah, somebody who didn't kiss the ring enough. Somebody who was kissing some other things, I guess, or was letting some other people do some kissing, and they was doing some kissing and touching, and he was watching. And it then got him in some trouble. But I thought he wasn't gonna get in that much trouble, and he got in more trouble than I thought he was. See, that's how that works. Sometimes you think it's gonna be alright, and it is, because God on your side. But it ain't gonna be as alright as you think. See how that works? See, he thought he was coming home. He thought he was gonna go ahead and start booking some speaking engagements. My guy, Mr. P. Diddy, you got to do 50 months, they say. Minus the 12 you already did, so we looking at about 3 years. He said, I'm already calling and writing letters to Trump. So we gonna see if he could give us a little attention and do for us like he did for the Chrisleys, okay? Because I don't know why they got out. And I know if they could get out for some money and some tax stuff, I'm not a lawyer. And when I talk to the lawyers that I do know, they don't know either. So seem like in the legal system, they could do what they want to do. And I don't like that. I need some consistency. They tried to throw out some cases that was similar, that didn't get that much time. The prosecutor was trying to come with 11 years. I said, 11? 11 a long time now. I don't know how they came up with that number. Luckily, that was already deemed unreasonable by the judge. But going home today was not an option either, he told them. Pump your brakes, playboys. Don't pack your bags yet, is what he said. And he even let his family do all that little stuff, create all them little videos, do all that talking, one by one. I heard on the news, they said they don't never let federal cases take this long to determine the sentencing. But this judge respected him, gave him a platform, gave him the opportunity, and still gave him some time in jail because of the video at the end of the day. That's what he said. Now, again, he wasn't charged for the video. They couldn't charge him for the video. But the video helped determine how much time he got. That's where I get confused at right there. Then she had the nerve to write a little letter saying, hey, I'm scared. I fear for my life. I said, ooh, were you fearful when you were participating? See, I get it. You was a little upset after he started hitting you. That domestic violence stuff real. I get it. He knocked some sense into you. He showed you shouldn't be here no more. And you got your little out now. You just got to play your cards right. And guess what, girl? You did your thing. I ain't gonna hold you. Them women don't play fair. Y'all better play differently, fellas. I'm not saying she not gonna get her due. But what I'm saying is that punch, that beating was a lot more than what she was doing in the eyes of God based on how some things unfolded. So I still think she should have kept her mouth shut a little bit more. Because you got your money, boo. You got your little family. And you did participate. Sorry. Now, again, you ain't deserve to get beat up. But you did do some participating. And I ain't hearing them subtract nothing for the level of participation that she was doing. That's all I kind of wanted a little bit more of. We gonna add that she got beat. We gonna add double the points, triple the points for that. Like, we not gonna just lightly throw that in there. We're gonna strongly put that in there. But we gonna throw in strongly that she was participating in some of them sexual acts too. And she ain't getting charged for nothing. Matter of fact, she got a little immunity just in case. So I just want, I just want to say some of this stuff ain't fair. Be careful, fellas. Don't be flying nobody out no more, for sure. Definitely get some consent. But I did like how his kids came out and supported him. I did like how they was there the whole time. They ain't like everything they saw, but they did probably see some of that stuff in real life. So they knew some things already. And at the end of the day, they still show love and support. Sometimes I wish, no R. Kelly, but I wish that my people stood by me like that through thick and thin a little bit more. We all wish we had people who ride or die a little bit more than not. And people be picking and choosing. I know they didn't like what they saw. They said that. They said, though, he's changed. They said that they'll be there with him to hold him accountable. I don't know, but you need that type of support system to help you along your way, along your journey. Now, again, they didn't have to do that. There's a lot of family members who don't be doing that for their family, so they didn't have to do that. They still gonna get benefits. They the kids, so it is what it is by default. Because I know them kids don't always be treating you right. So, hey. Somebody else who in the news, though, who might be going to jail for something he ain't do, Tyrese. Hey, Tyrese might be going to jail for his dogs. They say his dogs killed another dog in the neighborhood, got loose, and did some damage to a small little dog and left the dog on the front porch. And somebody probably about to be suing. The cops was looking for him, and he reported. He turned himself in. However, he said he not turning in them dogs, though. He said, I gave them to somebody else. They're in a good home now. But they are no longer able to be found at the moment. So he waiting to see how bad people want to find them dogs. I don't know. It's crazy how the world we live in, and money gonna determine everything. He might have to spend a lot to avoid some things, because us regular folk gonna be going to jail, and they throwing us in jail while they go look for them dogs. Okay, someone else I thought might be going to jail, who they say is currently not under investigation at the moment, this young singer named David. Now, they got a lot of mystery going on about this case, as some remains was found in the back of his Tesla car. And he's some singer somewhere in LA he was living. And then come to find out is of some underage girl who's been missing. And then in the story, they say the parents say she ran away and had this boyfriend named David. Now, to me, some of these stories that be going on in the world be sounding like another Law and Order episode, okay? But he still hasn't done any public interviews, but he has stopped tours, so at least that's decent. I don't know. I don't know if any of this true. I don't know what to believe these days, but I know it's a lot of coincidences with this story. Now, I don't watch Kai Cenat. He a little too young for me. You got to stay in your lane a little bit as you get older. I know that about myself. I don't get too old. For some of y'all who be listening to too much old school music, but I definitely don't go too young. And I'm not really with Kai in the streaming university like that. But I respect them young guys, and they the movement right now. They the wave. Now, I did see recently he does this month-long, all-day type streaming, videotaping himself, and have a bunch of stuff going on with him and his friends. People come over, stuff like that. And a lot of people came over this time. A lot of celebrities, big names. And to me, it just seemed like people go there to tap into his potential, to utilize his platform to promote things they got going on. Everybody who came there was looking to benefit from the publicity, looking to come up off his viewership because they recently released some things, or they was about to release some things. So a lot of the people showing up seemed a little awkward. However, I guess he had a good time. He accomplished what he had to accomplish, so shout out to them. However, there was one thing that caught my attention that I wanted to talk about. I like how he has this newfound relationship and friendship, it seems, with Drewski and Kevin Hart. There's this clip showing Kevin Hart interacting with some of Kai's friends who's talking to his daughter. Now, his daughter supposedly is 20 or so. She's a young adult. But Kevin Hart definitely jumped out of character and was talking to these young men who also probably look at him as a young man that they could take in a fight if they needed to. They probably not as scared about Kevin Hart if they really, had to think about it. I know I wouldn't if I was them. And I was thinking like that, of course, because I don't care how strong he may be, he's still small. Pause. So I was liking in the clip how he kind of checked them guys and he letting them know, that she came from my balls. Because I be thinking like that. I'm gonna have to use that phrase. I know his daughter didn't really like that. Didn't like him talking to them boys like that. Kind of embarrassed her a little bit. However, I do like the concept. Again, us guys and us women sometimes too, but us guys definitely don't always do things the best way. However, you got to know he meant very well. And women always say they want protection. And what better way to get protection than from your daddy? And he was there wanting to establish some boundaries, some parameters. Some daddies be around and watch their daughters do all kind of things that they shouldn't be doing. See, I like just establishing that your daddy involved and that your daddy around to the guys around too. Because if you want to talk to mine, just know you going to have to talk to me too. This ain't going to be no one-sided get to know each other at all. Make sure you like both of us. Make sure you can hang with both of us. Because it ain't going to be easy. Better ask around. It's really not going to be easy. Again, everybody think everything free. I just come in and do what I want. I just like the girl or she like me. And that's all that matters. And in some situations, that's all that matters. I know for me, that's how that's worked. All my beautiful relationships over the years have always been based on the connection just amongst me and the other person. However, you do see in the world, some people have to be validated and approved by the family. Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if mine is going to want to make sure that I'm approving things. However, everybody know I ain't going to make it that easy if I'm not happy. So I like Kevin Hart doing what he did. And that's all I like from what I really saw from the stream that he did, I guess, the whole month. But shout out to them. They making big money. And when I figure it out, I'm going to be trying to do the same thing. However, I think they putting too much of their business out there like that. And everything that you think you want, and people think they could keep getting, and they ain't going to have to give something up. That's how it kind of be working. I just saw the other day that Kai thought he was going to finish his stream and was going to go home and was going to lay up next to his old lady, his little girlfriend he got. He been public with her for a little while. And all of a sudden on Friday, they got this rapper who come out with a song talking about he had her first. I don't know, bro. I'm not saying somebody didn't have your girl first. Everybody done been with somebody who done been with somebody else first. That's how it go. We ain't no YNs out here, okay? Everybody done been through some things before, okay? Everybody done experienced some things before with others. However, now it's our turn. And that's what we should be focused on. But some people not always able to focus on those things the right way if they don't have all the information, I suppose. And Kai must be sassy too, because they say him and his girl, they now no longer following each other on social media. So I don't know. I ain't following them. So I'm just hearing through the grapevine. But fellas, are you going to be there to be an enforcer or to be a guide, a resource, something, a tool, somebody, an asset, anything that could be potentially helpful for your kid as she continues to date in this world that we live in? It don't matter if she dating men or women. You need to be able to be there to help guide and protect a little bit. Teach her the game a little bit. You can't do everything. Don't be like a mama now. Overprotective and super emotional. Give her some of the game. Let her know what's really going on out here. Keep her abreast to the information so she not late to some things and she leading with them emotions a little stronger. That's what I'm trying to do, fellas. You got to make sure they know what they're doing out here. They're aware of what's going on so that they can make good decisions and they're not leading with their heart, even though I think they be leading with their pockets, not their heart. I don't know, y'all. I just feel like so much going on in the world. These kids are going through things earlier than ever. It's just not safe no more. We was always kids who wanted to be older than we really were, but we always had parents or adult supervision around us to protect us, to let us know that, hey, be patient, you'll have your turn, but don't rush it. These days, these generations, everybody got their boots on the ground. Everybody want to be outside. Grandparents don't cook Sunday dinner no more. Nobody want to be at home anymore. It's difficult to parent. You don't know what to do until it's too late sometimes. Therefore, you have to play it safe. If you're truly trying to protect, if you're truly trying to preserve, you don't just expose and allow to be out there and to be utilized and be everywhere. You try to make sure that you're exclusive. If you think something is valuable, you don't allow for it to be overly available. But again, it's just my opinion. But I do think as fathers, we need to be around a little bit more, even as our daughters get older, to be able to help guide them and be a listening ear to help with some of the decisions. Hopefully they'll listen and they'll allow for that to help guide them through some of the things they go through, some of their relationship stuff that they go through. Because a lot of times relationships can alter some of your other stuff, can interfere, and you don't want that. You don't want it to affect negatively. Sometimes it messes with your money. You want to always protect yourself as best as you can. And the best way to protect yourself is to have a safety net around you. And that's what insurance is for. And that is what your parents are for. But a lot of us don't have that. And a lot of these ladies out here have to rely on their own skills to figure it out. Now, I've been noticing lately that there's some new trends that's truly coming out that's always been around, but they're talking about it a little bit more. They're talking about pretty privilege. The ladies have always been pretty and they have always gotten privilege, okay? But now they're utilizing pretty privilege a little bit more to their advantage, in my opinion. I feel like this has been going on for a while. Now, not everybody has pretty privilege, okay? Pretty is subjective. It's case by case, okay? But you see, you got Saweetie out here bringing it back up again, and she's saying that pretty privilege has negative effects. Now, I'm trying not to mind women's business as much, okay? Because I don't want to be labeled as being sassy. But I noticed that women's business sometimes affects men's pockets or men's business. So I just want to throw a few 2 cents. And I did think you were an artist, although I don't be hearing a lot of music. I know you did something recently, but not enough, okay, to be classified as an artist, in my opinion. So you getting a lot of your endorsements, a lot of your opportunities through how you look, through how pretty you may be in someone's eyes a little bit. Now, although some things may come with that judgment, of course, haters, of course, but there's a lot more good that outweigh the bad. Therefore, this negative comment don't count, okay? I just want to throw that out there for anybody who thinking they agree. Like, there's a lot more good privilege than bad. So what are we doing? Okay, we just looking for something or looking for some compassion. Somebody else who I think looking for a little compassion, but who's relying on their pretty privilege as well. Angela Simmons. Now, I see you not with Mr. Yogati no more. And I understand he did this to himself a little bit. Now, I don't really know what happened, but you went begging for her, bro. And for me, if you was going to do all that in a song and you knew you wanted to do a little bit more than just be sexual, I think you should have already gave her the ring by now. That's all I'm saying, bro. I think you should have did that by now, dog. Just cause you already knew you liked her, you said, at least in the song, if you being honest. So for this to not go a little faster, since you finally got what you want, I'm surprised. I'm not as surprised though, just because you could have been mad a little bit. I would have been mad that I wasn't really being given a chance and taken serious in the beginning. She was laughing in the beginning. I ain't gonna hold you. She was laughing in some of them interviews, but she eventually gave you a chance, bro. Now, it do look like you caught her at a good time. Caught her at a vulnerable state. Also, I'm not sure what she had going on, but you definitely was elevating in her pocketbook because, she was getting a lot of good gifts. That's one thing I've noticed out here watching some of these celebrity men, spend a lot of money buying nice things for the ladies that they choosing to be with. You don't give out no 1099s, and you don't get to get anything back, okay? And y'all don't really be with them that long, so maybe it's not worth it to a PIMP like yourself. But I don't know who really could afford them type of lifestyle decisions, because regular guys, like, who would even sign up for something like that, fellas? Like, y'all doing that? I don't know, but that's a dangerous game, especially when you're not able to get anything in return. No return on investment when you spending it like that. That's all I want to say. You would have got more return if you would have went ahead and at least got a kid out the equation, or maybe go ahead and give her that little ring. But definitely make her sign some paperwork, maybe. That's all I want to say. Especially if she make, not as much as you. I ain't in her pocket. She come from good people, but be careful, That's all I want to say. Somebody else who come from good people, or who are good people. Miss Mariah Carey, you was on Kai Cenat's stream. You had an album come out. Now, I ain't listen. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna listen either. I don't listen to the Christmas album. And I'm thinking them numbers gonna start going down soon, because from what I heard, it's all right. It's just all right. It's just all right. You cool. You cool, Mariah. You was always kind of cool. You had some classics. You knew how to relate to the hood a little bit more, and I got that a little bit. Everybody accept you as, you be with the fellas a little bit, in your personal life. Shout out to Nick. Now, you do say you regret being with Nick a little bit. You ain't say it like that, but that's how I take it. You don't want to tell him too much because he sees stuff how he won't see it. I didn't heard it like that before a little bit. It's not true, but I heard it like that a little bit. I don't know. But decisions, Miss Mariah, I don't know if you made the right decisions. Y'all got a lot of age gaps in your relationship, but not too much. No take backsies. And you got your kids, so I don't think you should have said that, although you just don't like all the things he's done since being with you. I get that part, but you can't say it like that. So, hey, you found the cute way in your mind to say something almost respectful. At least you did it kind of respectful. So, I like that. I wish other people would be a little more respectful even when they didn't agree with everything. There's ways to say things without doing too much. I think Young Thug was doing a little too much too. I think, of course, he was doing too much talking while he was in jail. And you see, he said that kind of led him to not having a girlfriend right now, even though he with her, but she not with him right now or forever. We don't know yet. He was doing a little bit too much talking, and he ain't gonna get no return on his investment either. Good luck with that. He had her on the album though a couple times, and it was okay, but the album itself was not. I listened to it. I gave it a few chances. He's saying some things. He's super emotional. He's sharing his business. He's pouring his heart out. I like that. I like the vulnerable side, but from the slaps, it's not making the playlist. That's all I want to say. All the drama making the news, not the music. We definitely understand why he threw the song "Whoop-de-Doo" on the album, because that's exactly what this is. It's just whoop-de-doo. It's just it's just, hey, glad he back, but don't be playing this too much. Don't be putting this in the rotation. And he been low-key saying it, but people not paying too much attention or just don't care. He miss Gunna. He need Gunna. Now, he say in his interviews he not going back. They not about to talk, but he need him. And he know he need him, because this ain't it. And when he was doing good, Gunna was right there. I guess he be writing them rhymes, or they know how to bounce some ideas off each other. I don't know. but you need your mans in them in the studio while you create. I would rather some one mans in them, if I was in the studio creating, but that's why I don't create. Because I be wanting to be with the womans in them. But hey, Thug, it's okay for your girl to go see a therapist. Maybe if you would have let her go see a therapist, then maybe she would still be with you. However, you knew she would have went saw that therapist. That therapist was not gonna be giving her recommendations on how she could be better at home through the midst of all the drama. Now, I do agree with one little aspect, at least in my interpretation of what he was trying to kind of get across in terms of this therapist department. I believe he was trying to say that he wished his lady would come to him as well as going to a therapist. Am I not also a resource? Am I not also part of the team? Don't you eventually have to include me anyway? And if you truly want to be here, we should figure some things out. We should be locked in. We should figure out how to talk to each other. We shouldn't just give up if it's not easy. But I don't know what he really meant, but that's how I took it at first. But boy, they took it as he don't want her to go see nobody but him. And maybe that's how he felt. I don't know. But if we choosing, I get that. Don't pick the therapist over your man, but utilize the therapist to help better understand and work with your man. See, that's how I look at it. But, everybody want to just go with the drama. Everybody want to create negative that going to lead to the turmoil. Y'all don't want them to be together no way. I don't know if they really was looking good together, but that ain't my business. But y'all didn't want them to be together no way. And I don't know if they wanted to be together. Seemed like she was with some people before him too, but not too much on that. They don't want to say that. They don't want to talk about in the interviews when they was talking about what she was doing. They don't ever want to bring up the ladies. I ain't gonna bring up the ladies either. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna leave the ladies alone a little bit. But can I talk about Cardi B a little bit? Can I talk about Nicki Minaj? I mean, dang, they doing a lot. I'm gonna be respectful a little bit. I mean, they wasn't respecting each other kids, and I don't play behind the kids. You know what I mean? Don't play with mine. I don't know what y'all talking about out here. Y'all be too disrespectful with people you don't even really know like that. That's why I don't even really be talking to people. Because it's always something. You be going through something with the people you know. I know I ain't about to be talking to the people I don't really know. I got to figure it out with the ones I already got. But these women beefing again. They really just be jealous of each other a little bit. And they utilize social media to make money. Engagement is what they call it. See, people online get paid for people clicking their profile, clicking their stories, watching their videos, liking everything that they showing. They get checks in the mail for stuff like that. So they just want that check and they want you to buy gear and buy the music. It's really a part of the business. But see, y'all don't want to see some of that. Now, some of this was real, okay? Cardi B was talking about people on her album. Now, let's get into it. The album wasn't that good. I ain't going to get too much into it. It was cool. I liked hearing from her. That was it. If I'm outside and they come on, it's probably going to be all right if they got the ladies around. If not, this ain't it. Her ex-man's in them album was way better. Offset, yeah, his album was a lot better. Even though, bruh, this whole album was about you. She put all y'all business in the album, okay? She throwing tons of jabs, no subliminals, all direct. I like that. Say it with your chest. Don't sugarcoat it. And she ain't hiding behind it in the interview. She's saying directly what's going on. But she can't do too much. But she's saying a few things. And it is what it is. Hey, when the woman hurt, fellas, brace yourself. That's all I want to say. When she hurt, brace yourself, because she gonna come for you. She won't pay back. Shout out my homegirl, Sharice. She got a new song coming out real soon. And she sent me a little clip. And guess what? She putting her business out in her song, too. Hey, look, everybody putting a drama in the music. And it sound good. That's how I go through some things, and I guess the music sound better. A lot of times when people happy at home, the music don't even sound that good. And I think that's just wrong assessment, but that's what they say. I like all the people I like. When Drake happy, I'm happy. When Drake sad, I usually be a little sad too a little bit. I don't know why, but that's how I be working. We ain't got the same birthday, but it is what it is. We like-minded like that, I guess. Sidebar, shout out to Drake. Iceman coming soon. Hopefully it come real soon so I can have something a little bit better to listen to. But I've been really enjoying things. But Cardi, you did not need to do all this for attention. You could have just made a better album. The album was cool though, but you could have just made a better album. But you wanted to say some things, you wanted to get some things off your chest, and I respect that. But you're creating some more drama. You thought it was just gonna stay there and they wasn't gonna go to social media. Maybe they were just gonna come out with another song, but they won't go to social media. Now Bia, she gonna come out with a song soon. I believe that. Cause she thinks she could really rap, and I like some of her music, so I can't wait to see what she do. But JT, she ain't really trying to rap right now. She kind of good and happy right now, but she gonna get on social media and tell you what it is. And she taking up for herself. I like that. Now I don't know what they talking about for real. I'm not paying that close attention. Now I am seeing a little more closely though that Nicki is coming out, and like I said earlier, they talking about each other kids. They saying them numbers not real though, Carter. They saying them records you think you breaking ain't all the way true. You embellishing just a smidge. I don't know. I'm not fact checking, but I wish people didn't really have to do it like that. But that's the world they live in. And some of these comments don't seem like no coming back from me, even though I did see a little fake apology come out, but Carter said it was fake too. So I know I wasn't wrong when I first read the apology from Nicki Minaj. And I was like, this seemed a little, fake and phony, but I didn't even really think Cardi B kid had social media, but I guess she'll see it, after hearing about what been said about her. But I'm glad Cardi came out and said, hey, this full of shit. What you talking about? Keep that same energy. And I'm pretty sure Cardi gonna want to come outside some more after this baby come out. But you would think after women having babies, they'll stay at home a little bit more. But not too much on them because my body, my choice. And I respect that. But Nicki said she got an album coming out. But boo, don't be telling me about no album all the way at the end of March. And we just starting October. It just hit fall. And you trying to tell me you got an album about to come out top of spring. Bruh, I don't care. And you make good albums. We like your music. But Nicki, you reaching. You trying to piggyback off of the success of Cardi right now and its attention from the drama. And it's not working. You're not gaining fans. The Barbs don't like this. I don't know. A lot of people don't like a lot of things, especially Cardi announcing this new baby on the way. Finally, even though we was already saying stuff, I know I was already telling y'all what was that. However, Offset was telling you that you don't need to pick the same kind of guy as me. You got to pick better. You went down just because you thought you picked something to look a little bit better. It don't. That's what he said. I don't know. But I guess it's going to be some sister wives going on over there at the Diggs house because he got some more kids also on the way or then already came. So Carter going to figure it out. That's what she said. We're going to figure it out. And who is she to say something to all the ladies listening? Because she just had a baby with her ex-husband last year. So what we talking about? We're not going to forget what you do just because we do too. Everybody do something. That means we need to just accept that and find a way to move forward. We can't keep being mad and we all doing something. You did something too. I did something too. Two wrongs don't make a right. I'm sorry. You sorry. But we can't keep doing it like this. That's it. I don't know. Figure it out. But y'all won't have these kids and won't have them with anybody. At least I like Rihanna and ASAP having the kids together, keeping their business private. They might have drama. They might have disagreements, but you don't know what's going on. And they keep having babies. Rihanna might got something good over there. I don't know. ASAP must like everything about what's going on over there because he can't get enough. I don't know though, ASAP. What's your cutoff though, bro? Everybody got to have cutoff. And, all yours over there seem like they can't walk yet. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not paying attention that close. But they seem like they still in diapers. I'm not sure. But good luck to y'all. And when you got money, you could do some things. You can hire help and still have the lifestyle you want because you're not doing all the work. I don't know what they doing because they did say they do a lot of the things themselves. But I ain't in their business. And when you got the kind of money they got, come on now, let's be real. Now, one album I want to be honest and real about is that Chance the Rapper album. I want to let y'all know that's the best album that they came out this year. I like Chance a lot. I like his versatility. I like that he actually give you songs that are relatable, and they got bops, and he give you versatility. So I just want y'all to know, y'all definitely need to check that out. You will hear a lot of new songs from that album on the new playlist, The Slaps, on Tidal. So again, check that out. Click the link. So Chance album was really good. I like that, he not just talking about his relationship no more because he not in it no more. Although sometimes, like I said earlier, heartache and pain make these albums be better. I don't know. I'm not in the music industry, but there is some consistency in what they saying, because that's how it be seeming. When he was happy, nobody liked the music he was making. Now all of a sudden he not in that relationship no more. He's single again. He putting it in the music. Guess what? One of the best albums he done came out with. Better than everything else that came out thus far. And they got some good albums. I told y'all 2 episodes ago, all the new music I have been listening to. Really good albums that then came out during the summertime. And I think there's going to be some more good music that's going to keep coming out that's going to be good, just as this Chance album. But so far, Chance is winning the race for me. Now, a close second, maybe third, but for sure a close second. I really like that Jay Electronica project, or projects, because he gave us 3 projects. Now, all of it is not music. He giving you inspiration, wisdom, we should say. And I don't know all about everything he's saying. I'm not about to research. However, I think right now we need some of that. That's all I want to say. It's refreshing. He gave you some Jay-Z songs, so be happy about that, y'all. We know all y'all think he to go, even though he not. But y'all like y'all some Jay-Z. Nah, they didn't like Jay-Z to give him a casino. They gave it to Nas. See, I like Nas more than Jay-Z too, but I guess not too much on that. Just like not too much on Nas getting it over Jay-Z. But shout out to Nas. I like what Nas be doing. And he still be making music. And his music, I must admit, Nas be making decent music right now. So check his music out. But he won the bid. His group won the bid for a new casino in Queens. And I'm glad because, one, I don't really go to Queens like that. But also, nobody need more traffic in Times Square. I don't know who thought that sounded good. Jay-Z, I know you be trying to do your thing, but this ain't it, bro. And God might have said, you got your hands in a little too much, and we won't spread the wealth with a few other people who deserve it. I don't know. But it didn't need to be in Times Square for sure. I done been in Times Square a few times, and it's already congested. We don't need more congestion. Now, in the last episode, I told y'all about Dame Dash and how he need to check himself before he wreck himself. And he almost wrecked himself. But he had to come and apologize. He had to come and say he's sorry. He doing too much. And I'm glad he finally got a little quiet. And I don't know if he all the way quiet, but they're not covering him as much. So I'm happy Dame was doing too much. He was hurt. Dame hurt. Dame was crying on camera. He wasn't looking the best, He wasn't sounding the best, in my opinion. He lost his teeth. Bro, hey, you need to be at home. You ain't got no teeth. You can't be showing people you didn't have no teeth. You need a lot of recovery time to let them forget the moment when your teeth fell out your mouth on camera. Bro, you got to be embarrassed by some of this stuff you doing. And your man's out here doing good things. Now, I'm a Jay-Z fan, bro, but I thought you was really taking up for the black folk a little bit more when you was trying to pick who was going to perform for the Super Bowl. Nah, I thought you was going to look out for my guy Chris Brown and eventually get him in there, even though you've been hating on him since the Rihanna situation. And I get some of it, but everybody deserves a second chance, just like Beyonce gave you one. So I don't want to do too much, but everybody deserves a second chance. Because nobody perfect, because everybody then did something. Don't mean you don't need to do a little time, a.k.a. Mr. P. Diddy. But don't mean you don't deserve a second chance. Don't mean you don't deserve forgiveness. But I don't know if I'm rocking with the Bad Bunny. He is the man. Now, I don't know what he be saying. I know the ladies love the music, and I love the ladies. And I got a few Bad Bunny songs on my playlist when I'm DJing because the ladies like Bad Bunny music. But guess what? The ladies don't know what he's saying either. They don't know what none of them words really mean for real. It set the mood right. It get the party going. And he gonna do well. He gonna bring out a nice diverse community. Now, Ice already done said, don't bring y'all asses out there if y'all ain't legit. Because although we might can't get you in there, we might find a way to get you out of there or get you on the way getting in there. I don't know. But be careful if you're not legit. Mess around with the Super Bowl next year. But I guess it's cool. We're not going to say too much on this because we don't even know what he's saying in his music. So why would we complain? Adele and Taylor Swift turned him down. So I guess he wasn't really considering too many other black people since that's all he been doing. Don't let them come and use you to get in the dough and then go a different direction. I hope this is temporary, but I do know if he would have got Lil Wayne like he was supposed to in the right spot, then it'll be Kendrick again. And then we would have the right people because we looking out for the right people. Like, it's not just about who deserved from the song aspect. It's also based on moments. And we would have capitalized on that moment a little bit more. But it's cool. You wasn't worried about that. You was hating a little bit more. And it's cool. It's cool. Hey, sidebar. Since I brought up this Bad Bunny situation, I just want to also give another condolences to the bunny rabbit I accidentally ran over with the lawnmower in the backyard. I'm glad I saved this for the end of the podcast since a lot of y'all don't be listening to the whole episode, but for those who might get to the back, don't tell nobody. But let me tell you what happened, okay? So I was cutting that backyard. See, cut your own grass, all right, so you know what's going on. And something jumped out. I thought it was a snake. I moved quickly, okay? And it wasn't a snake. It was a bunny rabbit, all right? A real small bunny rabbit, all right? Kind of cute. It scurried away to my back door by the basement. And I was cool. I saw where it was. I wasn't even cutting nowhere over there, all right? Just painting you the picture. I was respecting the bunny in my area. Again, I wasn't in the bunny area. The bunny was in my space. And I don't play about my space like that. But I was allowing the bunny to live, to breathe. I was hoping the bunny was going to hit his lawnmower and was going to go somewhere else. Find another place to go mind its business. But as I was getting a little closer to a different area, again, not by the door, nowhere close to the door, but a little closer, but not to the door is what I'm saying. I'm painting the picture. I'm just letting you know that I got a little closer. And as I got closer, the bunny rabbit jumped out and jumped under the lawnmower. And I was sad, okay? I ain't never really did more than stepped on a few little flies, killed a few little bugs, okay? That ain't really my stilo. I don't be nowhere where it be dirty because I don't want to have to clean nothing or kill anything, as I don't really do the death. But you will have to die if you're an animal or a person. If you doing too much and you in the wrong space and you coming and you not wanted, okay? That's how that works. This way. That's called trespassing, all right? And so this bunny was trespassing, but this was not my intent. The bunny made a left when it should have made a right. And, it was cool. I said a prayer and I made sure the lawnmower picked up everything and went straight in the bag. And, I just dumped the bag. So it was kind of cool. It wasn't cool, but I'm just saying it happened quick. It was quick, easy. It was over. I don't know. I haven't seen any more bunny rabbits since. So do your own yard. But if you do, be careful because nature is real. Stuff be around and it's sometimes out of your control. But what you gonna do? Better have some type of protection, some kind of way to defend yourself if need be. That's all I want to say. Hopefully anything else that was watching saw what happened. We ain't gonna be having no issues no more and no time soon. But hey, Jay-Z, I don't know what you're going to do the next year, but you got a whole year to think about it and to prepare. Seemed like a lot of y'all be doing this at the last minute. As we heard you was asking around, it was declining your ass. But just think about who we should have, all right? Maybe Drake, it might be that time. I don't know. Hey, in more football news, like I told y'all earlier, men are still happy that football is back. Every game has been competitive. And I told y'all we happy fantasy football is back. We happy we could gamble some more on underdog. So we want to be able to enjoy ourselves at home, but also watch some competitive and be manly. Thank you, ladies, for allowing us some safe space. And if you're not being allowed a safe space, fellas, please make a way. I don't know how you're going to do it, but make a way. Now, if your team trash like mine, maybe you don't need to use up too much of your time to give to watching your team this season. Now, I'm not watching my team. I'm not going to hold you. I'm in and out watching the game when they come on. I'm glancing because I got all the channels, but I'm not purposely trying to watch that. I'm just trying to watch good quality football, and that's what's been on TV. My team, they've been looking trash. I told y'all I didn't already made my custom bag, but I'm not gonna wear it. Okay, I might show you what the bag look like, but I'm telling you, I'm never gonna put it over my face. But just know you don't have to ask if I'm going to any games. Don't ask me about the Falcons game. Don't ask me about no Cowboys games. Don't ask me about none of them games that people travel to support their team. I'm not doing none of that. Okay, not this year. They don't deserve it. I'm watching the games, and they're not trying hard enough. They're making simple mistakes, and I don't appreciate it. They almost wasting my time. And I told y'all, they don't need to be holding out for no Arch Manning. Sorry, he not doing good at all. He need to stay an extra year. I will say, a lot of people in the league, they getting hurt. A lot of quarterbacks getting injured. A lot of receivers getting injured. A lot of key positions getting injured. My fantasy team is looking a little tough already. We started hot, and now we slowing down a little bit, but it's early. Be smart, fellas. Be smart, ladies. I know the ladies play fantasy football too. At least some of them. Not all y'all, but some of them. Be smart. Make sure you set your lineup and you try to look at it in advance. Try to get on that waiver wire early. It's important to see the trends and watch some clips and videos about what's going on that you might not naturally know about, so that you can make some good decisions on who to select that might could help your team. You might need somebody later on in the season, so be looking out. Definitely watch free agency. Now, another team that's trash, just like my Saints, you got the Cowboys. How y'all go ahead and have a tie the other night? Got me staying up late, watching the game, thinking y'all was going to lose, and y'all still tied. You know, I was looking for the loss. I ain't going to hold you. But I'm glad y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all still holding on, trying to be competitive. Don't know a lot of people on y'all team. Everybody hurt on your team too. But at least y'all got Dak, I guess. I don't know. Dak make a lot of money. I guess that's what we're going to say. He inconsistent, but he show up some of the times. But for some reason, at the end when it's close, he can't show up. He ain't reliable like he used to be. Not that he's ever won, but I guess I can't talk too much like my team be winning like that. I know even if you win, you still could get benched. Look at Russell Wilson. He was struggling. They got the rookie that they really like, who could do some more things that Russell can't do. And they already done told Russell, bruh, we need Sierra to chill out. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't seen too much Sierra lately. Keep that in mind. It's cool, but everybody don't like that, dog. And I get it. Your lady just being herself. And you love your lady when she happy. However, everybody don't like all that extra attention. And it don't look like it's helping you play football. Now, I was thinking though, Mr. Russell and Miss Sierra, I just want to throw something out there, y'all. I was thinking that maybe you could come and play for the Saints. We know the Giants play the Saints this week, and I'm letting you know that I'm looking to see if Russell is liking the energy in the dome. Now, I'm hoping we win so he could think, dang, I could come and help this team take it up a notch right now. Maybe we can't win no Super Bowl, but at least he don't have to be sitting on the bench. And we might not have to spend too much, and then we might not have to lose Kamara to a team that's looking for a running back, and we just giving everybody who good on the team away just because we trash. Because that's what it's looking like. I'm hearing the rumors. We can't give up our good pieces. So then when we finally get a quarterback, or we finally get a few good pieces in the future, we need something to go with what we already got. Okay? Can't give up everything and then finally get something you still ain't got nothing. We should have got Shador, but you see, they don't even want to move him from third string to second string. A lot more politics going on in the league. I ain't gonna hold you. Football is just doing too much politics. But sometimes in life, you just gotta be patient. So hopefully Shador be patient till he get an opportunity. And I'm gonna be patient on my Saints, hoping that they at least win a game. Now, I did pick up in free agency the Saints defense and the Saints kicker, thinking he gonna kick well at home. And the defense going to play well against a rookie quarterback at home. So I'm looking for some come-ups. So that's my steal of the week. You're not going to hear this episode fast enough, but that's my steal of the week, hoping that that's going to work out. They going to the bench, or I'm dropping them right after this week. I don't want them after this week. The Saints trash. But I'm saying they might be good this week. And this is probably our only opportunity to win the game this season because we playing the Giants right now. I don't know the rest of the schedule. I know we need to beat the Falcons at least once. At least once. We can't be losing twice to the Falcons at all, ever. I don't care how bad we are. We need to be able to win one of them games. So if we need to get Russell just to win one of them games, I'm okay with that. So keep that in mind. Now, are the players on your team willing to do what it takes to get better? Now, in basketball, you see Zion then lost some weight. See my guy Luka for the Lakers then lost some weight. I believe they losing weight for the money. See, Luka got a contract too. Zion got a contract coming up too. His current contract has weight clauses already in it. But however, they know you just don't perform well if you're a little overweight, if you're a little slow. They have to be healthy and focused in order to perform the way they can in order to make their team be successful. Now, I know for my team, I need Luka to be on his A game. So I was super happy that he went ahead and got in the gym, took his fitness journey a lot more serious. Zion, seemed like you was tired of being in the news, bruh, and I appreciate that. Focus on your teammates. Focus on the city. The city like you. Give them some love, especially the way the Saints ain't looking good. Show the city some love this year, Zion. I like y'all little squad. I like Jordan Poole over there too. So definitely do some things. Take this opportunity to make sure you get your money, but also that y'all win some games. Now, don't beat the Lakers. Besides that, they doing all these NBA media interviews since training camp is starting for all the teams. And they starting to do some preseason games. Nobody watching NBA right now, okay? But I did notice that a lot of these reporters asking these basketball players about their personal lives, you know. Seems like being a celebrity is not just about the job you're tasked to do. People these days in the world we live in want to be in your personal business as well. People not just buying a product, they're trying to buy you. And I get that. That's why I'm not going to have that many followers. That's why I don't have no promoters right now. Because I'm not willing to sell or open myself up more, pause, to things that I don't want to do more than I want to do it. See, I want to be in control. And I don't want to feel like I'm obligated more just because somebody want to know something. That's not good enough for me. But I do see they want to know if Clay like being with Meg and if that's helping him be a better man. If that's going to help him be a better player on the team because the Mavs going to need him. And he respectfully declined to answer, as that's what I would have said. I might have said something negative. I don't know. But why are you worried about that? But right now, that's what's in the news. Him and his relationship with Meg. Y'all didn't even know Donovan Mitchell was talking to Coco Jones, and all of a sudden he getting interviewed on the first day of media day about his relationship. Although nothing wrong with saying you happy about your relationship. However, we here for basketball. You know, it just seemed like they don't have nothing else to talk about. Let's keep the main thing sometimes. Just like in the WNBA. I don't know why y'all keep trying to tell my girl Angel Reese she ain't focused. She been doing her thing. She led the league this year in rebound. I thought she handled her business. Thought she improved from last year. However, y'all don't like she said, because she pretty. That pretty privilege. She said, but I still be working. I still be in the gym. But you going to get these cute pics. I'm going to show you these short shorts, these long legs, and it is what it is. I'm young. I'm single. I'm doing my thing. And I respect some of that. However, you got to know, doing what you want, things can come with that. Again, everybody think freedom of speech, freedom of everything, freedom of I could do what I want to do. And I get to control the ramifications that come afterwards. You know, I don't know. But Angel Reese, you need to keep winning. You almost got kicked off your own team this year doing all that talking, saying some things that your own team didn't like. Now, I'm watching the WNBA finals right now. Aces versus the Mercury. Game 1 was great. They say they going the best of 7. This is the first time ever the women have played 7-game series. I'm picking the Aces, of course, although the Mercury been doing very well. Again, I just like watching the women play basketball because you know it's going to be straight fundamentals. It's going to be a lot of sloppy basketball, but it's going to be about the fundamentals. It's not all about the athleticism, even though the ladies got athleticism too, but in a different way. And I'm hoping it's not a sweep. I'm hoping the Mercury win one. I'm hoping the Aces win one and go back and forth for a little while. But at the end of the day, I hope the Aces win. Now, you see the WNBA also had some more drama. Now, I like Nafisha Collier. They call her Fee. She the VP of the Player Association for the WNBA ladies. And she be doing her thing. She also is co-owner of Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 ladies basketball league with Brianna Stewart. So she's pushing the envelope. She's a part of change. She's a part of helping things be better. And recently, after losing now, she waited, but she had something to say. She said, hey, I don't like the commissioner, and I don't like some of the things she's been saying, and I won't tell you about it. And she wrote it down. And I respected her for standing up for herself. And I like how she was supported. A lot of women in the league said they stand with Fee. I stand with Fee too. And you know what? I don't know if the commissioner is being all the way honest. Seemed like she was just a little upset that their conversation came out. Seemed like she didn't got a little heat. And she won't say everything ain't true. I don't know now. It's looking like she gonna have to make some choices. They want her out the league a little bit. Nah, you can't force me out of my job unless I got a better job. So usually they be getting another job somewhere else and they just don't be talking about it. And it'd be just as good or better without all the drama. So who knows? But if they don't like you where you at, why you still there? If you're not protecting the people you working for, then why you still there? Seem like you still there for the check or the notoriety. I don't know. But the ladies definitely need some change. They need more money. And they definitely need some better refereeing because some of them games, some of them calls, it's too close and these refs not making the best decisions out there at all. And it's too sloppy of a ball game for the refs to also be making mistakes too. So I'm hoping some real change come, and I'm hoping people really go ahead and stick together enough to get that change, because that's the only way it's going to work. Now, I don't think Dion going to stay in Colorado much longer, so you heard it here first. This might be his last year. I believe everyone has benefited from being together, so it can be time, because they're not winning no time soon. It's not looking good. Dion got a lot of work to do with the few people he got, and I don't know if he can recruit the same way. Now, he got some money, so he might, but he gonna have to work hard. And I don't know if he want to coach somewhere else. But hey, Dion, I will say, you definitely keep your nice little lady on your own. And Karuchi say she like her older men. So you definitely got to find you somebody who like you for you. She right there, depending on the pins, right there with you, bro. And I like that for you. You need your good support system at home, not just out in public, not just with the friends you don't really have, not just with social media. That's cool. You need it for real, though. In the trenches. See, again, Dion got great support system with his kids. So, again, I don't think Dion been perfect. They didn't seen him go through things in his relationships, but they still there, rocking with him, together, thick and thin. And Karuchi said, hey, I could come join the community. I like that. I'm just around the same age as your kids a little bit. No, she not. But she look like it. And, they got something going good. So we gonna see. Gonna be interesting. I know we not gonna see Miss Juju play this year at USC, though. She got hurt last year, late in the season. She gonna sit this year out. She don't want to play in college, no way. She gonna be number one pick if she don't ever play in college again or not. That's what all the expansion teams are for. Is to see who might get Juju when she's eligible to graduate and come into the WNBA. So they trying to get everything good. So when she come in, just like they started to get some things with Caitlin, they just was a little late. They're not going to make the same mistake twice. Now, I hope the FAMU band announcer don't make the same mistake twice by saying them girls are the face of Ozempic. Now, it's okay that the girls got a little weight on them. They could dance. They could move. I saw some of the clips. Alabama State University. They got their dance team. They doing their thing. Bro, you ain't had to say it like that, though. And then you want to apologize and say, in the community, we say things like this at each other. We rib. we talk about each other. Nah, bruh. They don't be letting men talk to young women like that, okay? Even if you all right, sometimes you got to keep some of that negativity to yourself. Swallow it. Throw it in the trash. You can't tell nobody. See, a lot of y'all telling y'all secrets to the wrong people, and y'all getting in trouble. They might have to make an example of you, bruh. Keep that in mind. They already got some issues going on over there at FAMU, so you got to be careful, but not too much on FAMU, Great HBCU. We support the HBCUs this way, okay? So Major League Baseball is on. The playoffs is here. We usually don't pop back into the World Series. Got way too many games. Go on throughout the year. Sorry. But we keep up with the stats. We know what's going on. And we did watch a game or two. Baseball is just not my thing. But shout out to the baseball fans out here. Hey, right now, this is the time of the year. If you don't have something good on TV to watch, then something wrong with you. I know you can find a sport to like right now. Every sport is on. We've been watching tennis. We definitely watching football. Basketball coming back. They say hockey season about to start up. Baseball just started the playoffs. It's prime time right now, y'all. You even see our shows starting to come back out. Told y'all earlier, Law and Order back, SVU and regular. So you got something on TV. Also, Tulsa King. I shared this long time ago. Tulsa King. They got about 2 or 3 seasons. Really, really good. Okay. Sylvester Stallone. I like Rocky. I don't know what he be doing in his personal life, but this show really good. Tulsa King. Definitely check it out. Like I say, new season. Now you see everything ain't gonna keep coming back now. Everything ain't getting renewed. They done already came out and said The Chi only got one more season coming out. Last season coming out soon. That's it. Not gonna be no more after that. As soon as you start liking something, it go away. It change. They don't want to be there no more. So figure it out. We're going to have to make some adjustments. But a lot of y'all ain't watching. So definitely catch up. Then you'll be ready for season 8 when it come in about a year or so. Now for me, my favorite show on TV right now is Reasonable Doubt. I like me some Jackson Luke. I don't like their kids, especially in season 2. But I'm definitely enjoying the fact that they back. I like the storyline. I like everything about this little show. I'm not all the way understanding why they brought back a fake Michael Ealy, because they didn't really need him to be the character look-alike. But at the end of the day, I like that little storyline, and they just dropped some new characters, and I'm enjoying some of that. Then they having some family drama, as Jack's dad want to come back in their lives, and he won't do it his way. And Lewis ain't a fan of everything. One thing I've learned is that if you gonna stand up for yourself, you better be willing to go all the way. You can't be halfway. You can't be barking and not ready to bite if it come to it. I don't always understand Lewis' character on the show. I mean, I like it for the show, but I don't agree with it all the time. I know both him and Jax have done things to each other and made some decisions that they both regret. So I really do like how they've given each other both second chances, and they're really enjoying each other's company and working through things still in a positive way. And you see, it has not been easy for them, but they're definitely in a good space. Now, I don't always think you can avoid all the drama that come in your life. Some things come to you whether you want it or not. Just like Lewis trying to help out at work, a fellow brother trying to look out, and it backfired as the guy threw him under the bus as he was deemed someone not performing well. Everybody don't mean you well. So you need people around you who really love you, who really can help you out, who really can look out for you. That's why I say loyalty is what you need the most, because you need somebody who's able to be there for you, to give you a second chance, even if you did make a mistake. My friend Smoke didn't even know if I said something wrong or not. At the end of the day, he riding with me regardless. That's what I liked about some of the stories I shared about people going through some things right now. Their support system is strong. Don't mean you don't need punishment. Don't mean you don't need to go through some things. However, are you going to be supported? Are you going to have some people who willing to be there with you and go through it with you? You're not always taught or go through things early on in your life to know how to prepare yourself, how to do things when it's your turn to make the right decision. Sometimes it's your first time going through things too. I remember going through something with my kid this summer at one of our tournaments, and my dad wanted to have some conversations to tell me to go and do a little bit more than what I was doing. And for me, I didn't really like that as much just because he didn't always see all the times when I were doing things at the other tournament and seeing how it wasn't really working. People always could get a critique and feedback when they see one side, but sometimes it might not always be the same if they saw the whole picture. They will maybe understand and support you a little bit more because they would see and believe that you actually trying to do the best that you can. For me, that's why I like loyalty, because even if you don't see things all the way, even if you haven't confirmed everything that you feel like you need to confirm, do you have enough trust or do you have enough loyalty to be able to still support those who need support? Everybody say they friend and family till we actually got to do something for that friend or that family member. For me, we always going through some things with those we love. Right now, me and my kid going through some things. However, she also got a sweet 16 birthday that's coming up. And I need to figure out what I'm going to get her, because no matter what, you only get one good birthday. And sweet 16 is big and it's memorable, and I still got to figure it out. So reach out to me and let me know what you got for your sweet 16, or let me know what you did for your 16-year-old if you have a kid, so I can get some ideas, because I'm looking for tons of inspiration. Now, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I kind of already got in my mind what I want to do, especially since we're not vibing the way I want to right now. But I know it's still going to be elaborate, and I still got to compete with her mom, because I know they're doing big things over there. So thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for tuning in consistently. Again, let me know what you like, and I appreciate all the love and support.
I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal.